Now, we're going to take up, now in this video, we're going to discuss about for statement. A for loop is a control statement using which the programmer can give instructions to execute a set of statements repeatedly for a specified number of times. Syntax: first we're going to have statement B1 into statement Bn, and then for expression 1, expression 2 and expression 3, and open the braces action 1 to action n. If it is true, then it will going to close the braces, and then it will goes for statement A1 to statement An. Expression 1 contains the initialization of the statement. Expression 2 contains limit test expression, that is the maximum, and the expression 3 contains the updating expression. Now, to display numbers from 1 to n, for I is equal to 1 semicolon, I is less than or equal to n semicolon, then I plus plus. So open the flower braces, printf %d, comma I, and then close the flower braces. The value of I start from 1. I is equal to 1 is nothing but the initialization. The value of I can go up to n. I is less than or equal to n, that is the limit test expression. And then the value of I is incremented by 1, that is I plus plus, that is the updating value, or I plus equals 1, or I is equal to I plus 1. All these things will go to give the same value, same result. The above for loop works as shown below. Assuming n is equal to 5, I is equal to 1 semicolon, I is less than or equal to 5 semicolon, then I plus plus. So if the expression is true, then it will going to go for printf %d \t and close the quotes and then I. So the output will be I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then output you are going to get. If it comes to the 6, then what happens? The control comes out of the loop. So this is how it will go into work. So C program to display the numbers from 1 to n. So include stdio.h, include conio.h, display intn. So int for I is equal to 1 colon semicolon, I is less than or equal to n semicolon, I plus plus. Enter the flower braces and printf %d \t within quotes, comma I, then close the flower braces and then return n and then close the braces. Then here go to the main function and then main program. So open the flower braces, clear screen, declare the n as an integer variable, printf, enter the value of n is equal to n \n, and then read that number. The number displayed are, so the display n, so we are calling this a function here, and then get ch, and then output enter the value of n. So n will be equal to 5. The numbers displayed are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How it will going to work is, so once you enter the value of n as 5, so read that number, then it comes to this. So is 1 is less than or equal to 5? Yes. Then enter into printf. So it will print the value of 1. Then it will going to increment this value by 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Is 2 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, and print that number. Similarly, again it goes to the increment for 3. So 3 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, then it will going to print that number. Then 3 plus 1 becomes 4. Is 4 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, it will going to print that number. Then it will comes to the 6. 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it will going to print that number. 5 plus 1 becomes 6. 6 is less than or equal to 5. So it is not. So comes to return n and then comes out of the, and then comes to this and get character function and then write these 5 values. So this is how the program is executed. So let us see how this will going to work in our C program. So to do that, so first we will go for turbo C++. Then here, first we are going to write include stdio.h, include conio.h, then display intn or yum, then open this, then int, declare the integer as I. For I is equal to 0, sorry, I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, then I plus plus, open the braces, then here printf percentage d backslash t and 1, sorry, I, and close it, then return return I, return printf percentage d I, or just give return. Then you comes out of this, then go to main, then enter, then declare the, go to CLR SCR, then declare the variable intn printf slash n, enter the number, enter the value of n, then scanf percentage d and n, then printf the numbers displayed, or colon backslash. Okay. Then go to get display n, display n, I think it should be n, I think display n, then close it, get cs function and then enter, then run this program. There are two errors. So we have undefined symbol n, so int here it should be is less than or equal to n, then function should return the value here, return I, enter the value as n as 5, so it will going to give the value as 1 2 3 4 5. Similarly, if you want to execute this for 10 values, so you will going to get the number displayed or for 10. So this is how the program will going to be executed. So here the changes what we have made is the n value what we have given here. So since we have declared this as the variable n, so we have to declare here as n. Suppose if you say, if you want to make this as m, then what we need to do here is also m, enter the value of n, so it should be m here, then here also it should be m, then only your program will going to work. So here the m value what we have given, display should be m here, then run this program. So if you give 10, so it will going to give the prints the value from 1 to 10. So this is how the program will going to work for the display of numbers from 1 to n. So now we're going to quit this and say no. Then further continuing with this, so we have from the current slide, so we'll go to the next one. So display odd numbers within n. So for I is equal to 1, semicolon, I is less than or equal to n, semicolon, I plus is equal to 2. Then that means I is equal to I plus 2. That is incremented every time by 2. Then printf percentage d slash t comma I. So display even numbers within this. So for I has to start from 0. So I is less than or equal to n, I plus is equal to 2. So open the flower braces, printf percentage d backslash t and within the quotes comma I. So display odd even numbers side by side. So for printf, I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus is equal to 2. Then printf percentage d backslash n, I comma I plus 1 will going to be the value. If I is equal to 1, then output will going to be like this: 1 3 5 7 9 and 2 4 6 8 10 is the second one. Now display number from n down to 1. So that means you are decrementing now. Printf percentage d comma I, the value of I start from n, so I is equal to n, that is the initialization. The value of I can go down to 1, so I is greater than or equal to 1. The limit test expression is 1. So I is decremented by 1, that means I minus minus, or I is equal to I minus 1, or I minus is equal to 1. These are the updating values. So to do that, Here the code how it will going to be written from n down to 1 using loop. For I is equal to n, I is greater than or equal to 1 and I minus minus. Then printf %d within the quotes comma I. So sum of first n natural numbers. Design the program to find the sum of the following natural numbers from 1 plus to n. So sum is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on to n. Initial sum is equal to, initialize the sum value is equal to 0. In the step 1, sum is equal to sum plus 1. So that means 0 plus 1 will going to become 1. So that 1 will going to come here. So this sum will be as 1. So that 1 will come here. So the next value is 2. 1 plus 2 will going to become 3. So that 3 will going to come here. 3 plus 3 will going to become 6. So sum will be equal to 6 as you so on. So sum will be equal to sum plus n. So this is how it will go to work with the n natural numbers. So in general, sum is equal to sum plus I. So complete the code, sum is equal to 0, initialize that value. So for I is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than or equal to n, semicolon, I plus plus, sum is equal to sum plus I in the loop, and then close the loop, return sum value. So to program to print the sum of integers from 1 to n, include stdio.h, include codeo.h, add numbers. So int declare the variables I and sum as an integer variable. Sum is equal to 0. For I is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than or equal to n, semicolon, I plus plus. So open the flower braces, sum is equal to sum plus I. So close the loop, then return sum. So here this is the subprogram what we have written. So to write the main program, so main CLR. So declare the variables of n and sum as an integer and enter the value of n. Scanf %d and n. Sum is equal to add numbers n. Printf sum is equal to %d slash n backslash n. Sum gets ch function. So when you enter the value of n as 10, sum will be equal to 55. So how this program will going to be executed means if you have 10, so then if it goes back, so sum is initialize the value. Initially the value of sum is equal to 0. Is 0 is less than or equal to 10, then I plus plus. So the value of sum is equal to 0 plus 1. So first value is 0 because I value is 0. Then when the value of incremented I is equal to 1 is less than or equal to 10, yes, then sum is equal to 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Then increments by 1, so 1 plus 1 becomes 2. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Sum is equal to 1 plus 2 which becomes 3. So like this it will goes on till to the 10 is less than or equal to 10. The previous value of sum plus the 10 value. So that will going to give the return the sum value. So once it comes to this, and then finally it prints that value as 55. So this is how the program will going to be executed in your C program. So to do that, so first we will go for the Turbo C. So here first we will going to include, so we will going to add the numbers here. So include stdio.h, include conio.h, then add number is the intn, this is program, enter here int I comma sum, then sum equals 0, then I for I equals 0, I is less than or equal to n, then I plus plus, then enter it, sum equals sum plus I, then close the flower braces, return the value of sum, then close it. Then you come down to the main program. So include, so main, then open the flower braces, int n comma sum. So before that we will going to give the CLR, then int sum, printf, enter the value of n backslash n, then scanf %d and n, then sum equals add underscore number, then printf sum equals %d slash n sum. So this is, then go to get ch factor, then finally you run this program. So error. So we have cannot convert int into int. What does it mean? Int, add number, int. So here we need to give the value add number n. Then you run this program. So the function should statement missing. So here this add number n, then you run it. So it will go to gets the value. So sum is equal to 5. If you enter the value of add numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 plus 2 becomes 3, 3 plus 4 becomes 12, 1 plus 2 becomes 3, 3 plus 3 becomes 6, 6 plus 4 becomes 10, 4 plus 5, 10 plus 5 becomes 15. So this is how the number will going to be executed. So similarly, if you want to run the number for 15, so you are going to get the sum value as 120. So this is how the addition of numbers will going to take place in C program, how it will going to work. So the next in next program we will going to talk about print the sum of the following series of 1 square plus 2 square plus 1 to plus n square will going to be our next program, on the next video. Thank you.